So in today's video, I'm going to solve this question and I'd like you please to spot my mistake. I'm going to spot my mistake and then we're going to do it properly. Here we go. 0, 316. Okay, so first step I'm going to do is this. Next step I'm going to do is I'm going to do inverse sine on both sides. Degree mode, I'm on degree mode, 30. Okay, so I've got to remember for sine there's some rules, isn't there? So one of the rules is, this value and this value sort of give the same as this one up here. So the rule you might remember is something like sine theta is the same as sine of 180 minus theta. So I've got to make sure then that they add up together to 180. Adding 360, 360 is not allowed. Okay, so take a moment to have a quick think. What's wrong here with my answer? So to start with, getting sine on its own, this was good. How about the next step? Again, this is okay. So it's okay, but the problem's about to occur next. Now, some of you maybe are watching and you're thinking, I'm sure I remember doing something about this here. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You can adjust this domain. So you could do something like this. And then we could add 30. So this is a good idea. This is going to help us find any missing answers. But, it's just for us really that we're doing this. Well, you may then spot that the problem is we're doing all of this stuff way too early. So immediately after you inverse sine, inverse cos, and so on, that's when we should be looking out for multiple solutions. So let's do a quick sketch over here, but a little bit bigger this time. Okay, so 30, well, that's when we need to be doing all of this stuff now, okay? So 30, sine 30 will give you a half, sure, but it's not the only value. If this is 30, well, however much you go in this way, you go in this way. This is going to be 150, okay? I need to make sure I'm writing these partner values, these other values as well. So this is my principal value. This is what my calculator is going to say. And this is sort of its partner, okay? You can see them in this diagram here below. But what's not obvious is it could happen again. So how do we get these values? Well, we would add 360 to get to when everything happens again. Okay, so the secret really for this kind of question is find out your principal and your partner, and then you just need to keep adding them and subtracting them by the right number to make sure you've got all your answers. So this is my principal, this is my partner. If we add 360 on for the next one, we will get, well, 390. And then we'll have to add on here. And we can just keep doing this until we feel quite happy that we have everything 30 and more and less than 750. Okay, so what am I going to do for the next one? I'm going to do 150. I'm going to do 150, what was it, plus 360, and I get 510. And it's not a bad idea just to check, this one over here. So that would be 30 plus 360 plus another 360. Let's do it just in case. So 30 plus 360 plus 360 is 750 but 750 is not included. Okay, so from here you're going to be able to answer it. I think we want these 4 answers, and now we want to do that process. The problem is last time we did that process too early. Let's take away 30 from each of them, so that's now going to be 120, 360, 480. Okay, this was part of our gibberish, really, so that doesn't really have a place, that one. 0 divided by 2 is 0. 120 divided by 2 is 60. 360 divided by 2 happens to be 180, but it's kind of from a different place. And 480 happens to be 240. So let's write that neatly. Our answer should be a 0, a 60, a 180, and a 240. This is how to solve this kind of equation. So it's time for you to have a go. Let's do the question. Cos of 3x minus 10 equals 2 over 3 to start with. If you want to adjust this, that's not a bad idea. So let's do that while we're here. 3x, 540, sure. Take away 10, minus 10, 3x, 530. I'm doing this so later on I can check I'm not minus 10. I can check I'm not missing anything. Next step, inverse cos. Inverse cos, when I say this, I mean this one here, okay? So inverse cos on both sides takes us to 3x minus 10 equals, our principal value is 48 point, how many decimal places have I done here? I've done, I'm going to do 2 on this one, okay? 48.19, and we need to think about any extra values. Quick sketch. In fact, let's do a few more because I think we might have a few loops and so on. So where were we? 48. So that's kind of this one. Let's do that one there. That's this one here. How do I find the next value? Well, if you look inside that purple box there, the idea is a cos graph sort of starts at 1, it goes down, it goes back up to 1. However much you go in there is the same as however much you go back here. The rule is that cos of an angle is equal to cos of 360 minus that angle. So instead of 180, it's 360 for this one, exactly like this. In other words, if this is our principal value, 360 minus the same number, okay, so 360, take away this answer here, will give us the other one, which is, I've written it down here somewhere, let's call that one 311.81. So that's kind of how you get your first 2, but you might be in a question where there are quite a few, so you may need to do what? Well, you may need to hop over to the next one. How do we do that? We said adding 360s is the way to go. So I can fit one more. My next value was 408.19. You can try adding another 360 to the other one as well. But what you should find is that this one here is just going to be too big for the values that we've got. Let's finish it off now. So 3x equals, let's add 10 to everything, 58.19, 321.81, 418.19, and we divide by 3 as our final step. Okay, so I have rounded these answers a little bit because rounding is not the focus of this particular video. It's more how you solve these kind of equations. Okay, but something like this. So get the cos of a sine bit on its own, find your first value, and then find any other values. This is where people tend to fall down. All of this undoing, okay, is the final step.